personally about the fighting sports, what would it be? And the one thing that I wanted to change was I wanted to make it objective. I wanted to give the fighters an opportunity to control their own destiny. I wanted it to be a situation just like, you know, when Kentucky plays in March Madness. Ultimately, they've got an opportunity to move forward, but it's up to them. If they win, they move on. If they lose, they go home. It's very simple. It's very objective. Every year in the National Football League, a bunch of teams start. They've all got an equal opportunity. So when we set up Bellator, we set it up across all the weight divisions, the flyweights and the featherweights and the lightweights and the welters and the middles and the light heavies and the heavies and the women's division. We said, look, we'll start out with a group of 8, and the best will move on. And it doesn't matter who has the best hair or the greatest teeth or the best backstory or wears the coolest clothes or we could promote the best of the best will move on. And that's what makes us different. We don't have guys walking out of the mouths of fire-breathing dragons or girls dancing on poles or any of the other things that other groups have tried in the past. We have a simplistic, objective model that we all grew up watching in sports, and it's worked out remarkably well for us. So those are the 2 championship fights. Brent's here, and he is fighting John Troyer in a fight that I have been told, and now I actually believe, is really a fight between the 2 best pound-for-pound fighters in this state. And ultimately, because we have this tournament format, you get a guy who has an opportunity to fight against the best of the best in his region, and he who wins that fight then takes a step up the ladder in our company in terms of being invited to participate in either our welterweight or our middleweight tournament coming up in our 4th season, or our 3rd season, or our 5th season, when that tournament happens again. And our tournaments are pretty lucrative. The guys that are fighting right here in our featherweight division, our middleweight division, in 90 days, the winner of those 2 fights will walk away with $100,000. They will have fought 3 times. In 3 months, they walk away with $100,000. So it's a lucrative opportunity, and it's an opportunity for some of these guys, and guys here from the local market. Your Chad Hinton's from Cincinnati. Chad Hinton is fighting on this show, and is from a very close market. It's going to bring a lot of people from Cincinnati with him. Chad fought in the 1st round of our competition as a lightweight against Roger Huerta, who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, the only mixed martial artist to ever be featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Chad and Roger's fight was one of the best fights that we have had so far this year. When that fight ended, Chad was on the losing end of a submission, one of the craziest submissions I've ever seen. And I told him, I said, look, that was magic. Your performance was spectacular. I would love to have you come back and fight for us. And given that this market is close to his market, we invited him back, so he'll be fighting here. Ron Sparks, who is a heavyweight from this area, who is currently undefeated, who has had a lot of big fights lined up, and guys have backed out of those fights. Knockout artist, I think 4 of his knockouts have happened in the first 40 seconds of his fights. He's going to be fighting here on this card. Like I said, not much for sale, but this is a magical. Rosie Sexton, the #1 ranked 125-pound woman on the face of the earth, is coming here from London, England to fight on this card, in the hopes of using this fight as a transitional element to get into our women's tournament, which features the best women on earth. So this is just a magical card, and it should be, like I said, you look out at this area and you look at what we did in Kansas City and you say, this is just going to be a spectacular night. So, you know, my hope is that a lot of people come out and get a chance to see this. It's a lot of fun. It's very electrifying. Our live event is not done for the purposes of producing a television event. Brent's seen it, Chad's seen it. Our live events are electrifying. It's big music, it's big screens, it's highlights, it's a lot of activity. We produce a live event for the live event audience, so it's almost kind of like you get to be joined by 3,000 to 4,000 of your best friends, have a drink, eat some food, and also experience what you would experience if you were sitting at home watching this event. So it should be a lot of fun, and like I said, this is just, as events go for us, this is going to be a magical event, and it's going to be the best, that literally, objectively, on paper, the best that we have put on this year, and we have put on some wickedly good events. So looking forward to that. I'm going to bring Brent up to say a few words, then I'm going to bring Chad up, and then I think we'll just take any questions. Brent, if you can come up for a second.